Hi, I'm Engel. We're here in Portugal today at our sweater factory, and I'm going to take you quickly through the process of making our incredible Maine Lobstermen sweater. Come with me, I'll show you. This is where it all happens, but I'm going to take you to step one. So the first step we have here are the components of the sweater after it's already been knit. All the pieces are here. Now we're going to the stage where they're going to start putting it all together. Okay, so after the panels have already been knitted, the next step is to put them all into a washing machine. What this is going to do is going to clean out all the impurities that are left over on the yarn after it's been knit, and basically prepare it clean and perfect before it starts to become stitched together. And whatever you do not do this at home. Make sure you always follow the care instructions. These garments, these sweaters must never, ever, ever be put into a mechanical washing machine. They can only be washed by hand or dry clean. These panels have now been washed, and again, this is the very last time that they'll see a machine washing machine. Still moist, but everything is been cleaned. All the impurities have been taken out of the yarn. Here's the back of the sweater. Here's the front of the sweater. Here are the sleeves.
Já está consigo, Sofia? Aí,
Okay, 1, 2, 3, action! Okay, now that they've been washed, they go into the commercial dryer. This is only for a short period of time. All we're trying to do here is take out the moisture out of the yarn. After coming out of here, you still might have a little bit of moisture left over, but for all intents and purposes, the pieces are now fully ready to be put together. Okay, let's go. Good. Bravo. After washing and drying, the pieces now have to be laid out and quote-unquote straightened. They have to be flattened out one on top of the other and make sure there's no irregularities, no irregular folds or anything like that. You can see how she's laying it all flat. And they're smoothing the yarn, smoothing the panels, so that when they get to the next stage, everything fits perfectly and there's no impurities in that is happening in the wash and drying process. The next stage, we take the components here, and each panel is checked around the entire perimeter to make sure that there aren't any loose knits or any loose threads or anything like that. And now each component is now measured to make sure that it's on spec after having gone through the washing, the drying, and the straightening that we just saw in the last segment. You can see here how accurately each panel has to be measured. If it doesn't measure right here, it's certainly not going to measure right when they're putting the sweater together. So this is a critical stage of ensuring that nothing out of the ordinary happens to the panel that would prevent it from becoming a perfect sweater when it's put together. Here, separate operation. We're taking the sleeves before they've been closed, and we're applying the advantage wrencher on each one of those is actually marked with an ultraviolet light that you can't see, but you can see it with the light when it shines on the sweater to ensure the exact perfect placement of the pattern. Okay, now we have the panels brought over from the initial measuring station, and they're bundled here by size, and then move into the stations that I'm going to show you now as each piece is put together by machine and some by hand. Here you can see how the sleeve is being closed on the sweater. The front panel and the back panel have already been applied, and now we just finished putting on the sleeve, closing the sleeve at this stage here. So you can basically see that the front panel has been attached to the back panel, the sleeve has been attached to the armhole, and the sleeve has been closed all the way from the armpit down to the end. At this stage, we are attaching the collar to the body of the sweater. The front panel and the back panel have already been joined, and now this is what we call the linking machine. And what you can see here is that each one of those, the rows of stitching has to be aligned with each one of those needles, and they have to then come together almost like a zipper. So you have the body here and you have the collar here. They're both into the needles, and the machine actually goes and links the collar to the panel.
Go.
Is my makeup and my hair?
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. At this stage, the sweater has been completely joined, and we are going through the process of attaching bar tacking to certain stress points in the sweater. For instance, this is being turned over like this and then bar tacked with the machine. It happens at areas like this at the top of the collar. It happens in the armpit, it happens at the hem, and it happens at the cuff. At this stage, the sweater is completely pulled together, it's been completely assembled, and it's beginning the final stages of inspection. First stage of that inspection is that she is looking with the sweater inside out and trimming all the loose ends that were left over from the sewing department. What's happening here is that she is inspecting the collar joining to the sweater and testing it to make sure it has the appropriate amount of stretch, to make sure it's going to be able to go over easily over the head and then contract again around the neck. Very important, because unless that measurement is exactly correct, you can't get the sweater over your head. Now, each sweater is being put on essentially a light table, and she is inspecting every single panel and has the light shining through to make sure that there aren't any irregularities in the tension of the yarn that would have caused an irregular size gap between the rows of the knitting. And it can really only be done with this apparatus that inspects and allows the light to come through, and easy to detect any irregularities whatsoever. This stage, we're nearing the final production of the sweater, and it goes to the measurement table, which is actually a steam table that projects steam up through the garment to simulate almost an ironing process to make sure that the sweater is completely laid flat in a relaxed stage. From here, every single critical measurement of the sweater, the neck, the sleeve length, the chest measurement, the length of the sweater, are measured to make sure that it is on spec. In this factory, every single sweater gets measured. Not randomly 1 out of 10, 1 out of 40. Every single sweater gets measured at this stage through this process.
We'll start.
Okay, we're at the final stages. This is the folding and packaging. The sweater has passed the measurement inspections. It has passed the final inspection, and now it's being folded and ready to ship to us in the United States. All right, so we were in Portugal 3 days ago, back in Seattle now. This shipment just arrived, the Maine Lobstermen sweater in the color oyster. A little different than the color that I'm wearing today. This is the cream color, which is coming in about 45 days, but these are gonna be picked, packed, and shipped to our customers today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned a little something about how these wonderful sweaters are put together by hand. Thank you for your business.